Welcome to Rediscovering America. Your time is precious, and when you want to plan a vacation, you need professional help to guide you through the steps that you might not find on the internet by yourself. Visit ZeeMichaelsonTravel.com and get started today. I'm Jay Lawrence.
And this is Zee Michaelson. And today in the studio we have again with us our local Disney enthusiast, Jerry Norden.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening.
Wherever we
Wherever
are.
we are.
And of course, we had spoken a lot about Disney last week.
Right.
But
Yes.
we only touched the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So much more to talk about.
So that's why we brought Jerry back today.
To rediscover America
And
Disney style.
Disney
style.
style, yes, very good.
And we're going to be talking, we have 3 more parks to talk about and Disney Springs to talk about today.
That's right. Now, Disney Springs, some people aren't familiar with that name.
Right, that's a brand new name.
Talk about rebranding. Yes.
Right.
It's what used to be called Downtown Disney.
Downtown Disney. So let's start with more parks. Let's start with there's a hand in the
Hand
audience.
in the air, yes, there's a hand in the air.
I once again feel it's very important to know how big Disney is in Florida.
Well,
Because if you're not familiar with it, you need to know.
I see, and that is actually going to be our trivia question for this episode as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Apparently Jay wasn't listening last week.
So we're going to hit him with the answer this time.
Well, there's 4 theme parks, right?
Just 4 theme parks, yes, right.
Just
4 theme parks, 2 water parks,
2 water parks.
4 golf courses,
23 resorts
yes,
to go to.
with enough rooms to stay in different whatever for 110 years.
Who changed the sheets on that?
Lots of people, lots and lots of people. Some wonderful cast
Poor
members.
Minnie.
Some wonderful cast members take very good care of you while you're there.
I just think it's important that you point out the fact that how big this thing is.
I think he just did.
See?
There's a lot of people who come to Walt Disney World without a clue of just what they're getting into.
That's a good question. I don't know if you even have the answer. How many people visit the park every year?
I don't know if they have
Lots.
they have attendance numbers that are published for each year
Right.
for the parks, but they are for each park. So the same person visiting different parks would be
Right.
counted different times. I believe last year, I'm just pulling this off the top of my head, but I believe the Magic Kingdom had 23 million visitors last year.
Wow.
That would
Just
be
the Magic Kingdom alone.
Just Magic Kingdom. Now those people would also be visiting the
Some
other
of the other
parks
ones.
as well, yes, which would be Epcot,
Right.
and Disney's Hollywood Studios,
Right.
and Disney's Animal Kingdom,
And I'm really bad because Hollywood Studios used to be called
MGM, Disney MGM Studios. That's
and,
right.
Every now and then I find myself spitting that name out and go, nope, it's Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. Well, we've got a new one that's stumbling everyone, all the old timers around the property now, because Disney Springs,
Right,
used
Disney
to be
Springs.
Downtown Disney, and
Yes.
I'm still finding myself calling it that all the time.
I know it's tough. It's
Yes.
tough when they change their branding name.
Yes.
But there's always a purpose behind it.
That's right.
But I'm going to bring you around back to Epcot because that's one of my favorite parks during the holiday.
And Epcot does a spectacular job of celebrating the holidays. They have featured entertainment and holiday fair around all of the countries around the Showcase Lagoon, World Showcase
tell
Lagoon.
people what happens around each one of the countries around the lagoon.
You mean the individual entertainments and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, that's what she's asking. She figured you knew everything.
There is an event that takes place. It is called Christmas Around the World,
Right.
Or Holidays Around the World.
Holidays
actually,
Around the World.
because it encompasses not just Christmas, but there are other things that are celebrated as well.
Right, because you have China.
Right.
And China, I know, used to have the Monkey King. That was one of their stories.
Yes, the Monkey King.
So they do different stories. In Japan,
Right.
they have some other one.
Uh-huh.
So they create a holiday venue at each one of the different countries. How they
That's right.
celebrate the holidays.
Yes, exactly. And there will be a narrator who will come out and actually tell the story, gather the children around, and there will be a story told about each of the events that happen in those particular countries.
Right, and they're short. They're not, you don't sit there for 2 hours listening. They're how long? Maybe 10 minutes?
10, 15 minutes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I remember one year I actually ran from country to country, making sure I got each one in.
There we go. That's how we do the countries. The World Showcase, just running around. 1.2 miles around, by the way, that lake.
Oh, good. So I did get my exercise
in. You did.
Oh, yeah.
That's only around the lake. That doesn't make any mention of going into the beginning of the park.
That's right. Yes, first you have to get back there. Exactly.
Let alone getting out of your car into the parking lot.
Right.
Okay, now Epcot, as everybody knows, is the one with the big ball.
Yeah, that's the Spaceship Earth. Yes,
Spaceship Earth.
Yes, as you see that as you enter the park, and then that is just the gateway into an amazing array of holiday entertainments, culminating every night with the Candlelight Processional.
That's what I was getting to.
Yes, Candlelight Processional takes place 3 times nightly, starting in the end, right around Thanksgiving time.
Right.
And they have guest narrators,
which are Hollywood celebrities.
Yes, it's Gary Sinise, Neil Patrick Harris, Whoopi Goldberg, Joe Morton, Anna Gasterer, Meredith Vieira, America Ferrera, Chandra Wilson.
Now, people can go to the Disney.com. Is that the actual website?
And these are all listed there, and they will show you the dates that all these people will be performing.
If you have a special star you'd like to see,
yes,
it is absolutely amazing.
What theater is that in?
That's on the stage in front of the American Pavilion called the American Gardens Theater.
Is that a ticketed event?
It doesn't have to be. No, I mean you don't. It is included in the price of admission of the park. But there are special dining packages you can get, which will give you a reserved seat in the theater down front.
Because it does get very crowded.
Very crowded.
Particularly as you get closer and closer to Christmas Day.
Right.
So
I don't think I've ever seen a performance of Candlelight Processional that wasn't sold out.
I know, it is amazingly crowded.
But you also have the opportunity, you don't have to be in the theater to be able to participate or
to hear it.
To hear it or to watch it, because you can stand around the backside
and see.
The show itself is huge. It's just enormous. First of all, it features a 300-voice massed choir, which is assembled from various high schools around the Orlando area, and they bring them in. There's also the centerpiece, which is the choir made up of volunteer cast members that are dressed up to look like a Christmas tree in the middle.
Yes.
Standing in front of the Christmas tree, of course, is the narrator.
And the reason why they call it the Candlelight Procession is they come in with candles.
Everyone comes in with candles, yes. And then it's sitting in front of that is a full 50-piece orchestra.
Yes.
Live orchestra.
I do recommend that if they do get the seats through the dining, if they can sit a little bit further back.
Right, so you can. Well, it's a big show. You need need to sit back so you can catch the whole thing. And every single one of the major restaurants in the countries around the park, and around the park as well, over at I think the Coral Reef at Living Seas,
right,
has an opportunity to do that. You book a special package, you get the dining, and then they give you a special sticker,
like a little badge,
a little badge, and then you show up at the appointed time for the show that you wish to see. As I mentioned before, there are 3 shows per night, and so you can book which restaurant and which seating of the show you actually want to see.
I personally like to go to Germany, and I have my dinner there, and then I go and watch the Candlelight
And
Procession.
there's live entertainment right there at Germany as well. Big, wonderful show inside the garden there.
And they do deal, when they change their show during the holiday season, they make it a little more Christmas-esque.
It is a holiday-themed, yes, absolutely, show. Right. And then we also have the fireworks display at the end of the night, which is Illuminations. There are not only
does that change for the season?
Well, the show itself stays the same, but there's a big, huge finale that they tag on to the end of that for the holiday season as well. And
now, I have a question for you, because a lot of people are under the impression that Epcot is only for adults.
Well, it is, if there would be a consideration that it is probably the most adult of the theme parks, but that does not exclude the children at all. No.
Right.
Lots of stuff going around. There are characters all over the place. There's lots of activities for them to participate in. There is KidCot, which is an activity that you can take around to the various countries and have a special.
Right, it's like a little walkie-talkie of some sort.
Well, no, that is the Agent P.
Right.
Thing. This is an actual was developed in coordination with all of the entertainers and all of the cast members of the different countries.
Wow!
And you can actually get a memento signed by each one of them and a special stamp that you get till you're completed.
So there are things to do for the kids there.
Absolutely, and of course the holiday season is when it's lit up. It's just amazing.
And
anyway,
I love it that the kids can learn about all the different holiday traditions going around the different countries.
Now, the train is still running in the that G-gauge railroad, right?
In front of Germany.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's there as well. And they also give that some holiday extras as well.
It's not a full-size train. People might think that's a full-size train.
Model train.
It's a G-gauge.
G-gauge, that's right.
For us train buffs.
For you train buffs. But for those people saying, what in the world is a G-gauge, they're thinking, oh, my God, there's a big train running through the center of town there. So it is a model train.
And you got to watch out for it.
Now, there's also special dining packages that you can get that are involved with, like, tasting the various things around the lake as well from the various countries. It's a cultural extravaganza where you can go around to the various countries and they have special delights.
So they do that outside of the Wine and Food Festival.
Yes,
then.
that's right. Yeah,
Wow.
so they have baklava at Morocco. They have tiramisu at Italy, chocolate ganache tarts from France, crisp rice puffs from the Asian cuisine, cinnamon sugar churros with caramel. Oh my God, I can't even read this.
Come on,
my mouth is
I know,
dribbling
we're all drooling
here.
over the microphones. This is terrible.
So
you can tell
when
lots
you
of
go to
stuff.
Epcot, they have to make sure they see the Christmas Santas, as I call them.
Yes.
They have to see the candlelight procession.
Oh, please do. Yes.
They have to try to eat themselves around the world.
Go hungry. Go really hungry.
And
Yes.
of course, there is a Christmas tree.
Oh yes, absolutely, and that's over in the front of the lake, just as you're coming down from Future World into the World Showcase. Beautiful, right there as well.
And everything is decorated for the holiday.
Absolutely, to the teeth.
Okay.
Well-
Now, speaking of that, we're always talking Christmas, but there's a lot of things happening for New Year, and I hear Hollywood Studios is really big on that.
They are Hollywood Studios as well as the various hotels. Hollywood Studios, of course, this year for the final year is featuring the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights.
Oh, the
Oh, my
Osborne
goodness.
lights are going.
Yes, it's going away. Well, they have to make room for new things going in there.
Where are those lights?
Those are on the back lot.
on the back lot.
Yeah, it's called the Streets of America.
And as I recall, the last time I was there in the holiday season, I walked in on the back lot at that location.
Yes.
And it was so bright.
It's amazing, yes. It started out as a holiday decoration for a gentleman who lived in Texas.
Osborne was his name.
The Osborne family, yes. And it just got so big that eventually the city told him he couldn't put it up anymore.
Right. I mean, that's how many lights there were.
So he hunted around and found a place that he could put it up. It was Hollywood Studios.
Right.
Yes. And this will be the 20th and final year that it's put up.
Wow, I didn't believe it was 20 years.
20 years it's been going there. Now, back when it was first put up, there was a neighborhood street that was back there that was used for
Yes.
location
Location
showing. And
scenes.
that was how it originally came to be. We were decorating that neighborhood.
Right.
Well, that went away when they built the new stunt show for the car stunt
Right.
show there. So they moved it out onto the whole Streets of America backlot set,
Right.
and changed them over. They were eventually changed over from regular incandescent Christmas lights to the new LED technology, which takes about a tenth of the power, but are 10 times as bright.
Right.
And boy, do they dance with the music. They certainly do.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. And again,
Did Mr.
Nope.
did Mr. Osborne have to come and change the lights as they burned out? Because every once in a while a light will burn out.
No, they have a technology, a technician team that takes care of all that. They start putting up the display in the end of August to make sure it's up in time
They started
for the holiday
August.
season. That's right.
Amazing. So what do they do for New Year?
Well, I was going to say they also have a dessert party that you can involve yourself
Dessert
with.
party.
That's every night for the Osborne family.
We just
Circle
talked
Lights.
about desserts in Epcot. Now
I
we
know.
got more desserts coming at us?
It's all desserts. It's all about desserts. Absolutely.
Wait a minute, a dessert party? You mean, is that a ticketed event?
Well, you buy a separate ticket for it. You're in the
Studios?
You're in the studios. You're in with the lights and everything. But there's a special area that you go to. It's called the Merry and Bright Dessert Party.
Merry and Bright
Merry
dessert
and Bright.
pipe.
Yes.
Fine.
And indulge in holiday-themed desserts and specialty beverages while marveling at the millions, and I do not exaggerate, millions of glittering lights, all dancing in perfect sync to your favorite Christmas songs.
Oh, wow.
And that all takes place in an exclusive reserved viewing area.
And there's entertainment, isn't there? Live entertainment on the streets?
There is some live entertainment on the streets as well, but that runs into then they expand that experience out even bigger for the Merry and Bright dinner reception on New Year's Eve that takes place also on the back lot, but it's a full meal now.
Wow.
And that's New Year's Eve
New
in Hollywood
Year's Eve.
Studios.
Now, I
yes.
know we're talking Hollywood Studios, and we're talking holiday time here.
Right.
But there's a major development happening in the back lot back there, isn't there? A little land developing?
Yeah, well, this is why we're not going to be doing the...
No more
we're not going to
Osborne.
be able to see the Osborne lights anymore. They've got 2 new lands that are going to be put in at Hollywood Studios. One of them is themed on the movies franchise Toy Story.
Right.
And there's going to be a new roller coaster back there and some other stuff that's going to take over a part of the backlot area. And that's sort of behind where Toy Story Midway Mania is now.
Midway Mania.
And then there's also this little thing, I think perhaps you've heard about it. It's called Star Wars. Yes. And there's going to be a huge land that's going to be developed over on the other side of the park near where the Star Tours attraction is right now, that's going to just expand into a full environment that you're going to be able to walk into.
You're going to be in Star Wars.
Yes. Imagine being able to walk around the Millennium Falcon.
I know somebody that will be excited to be there.
Yeah, think.
Yeah.
Now, because Jerry is a special guest today, I gave him the privilege and the honor to do a trivia question.
Oh, yeah.
It's trivia question. Travel trivia question time.
Question time.
Okay, so what is the traveling trivia question?
Well, you alluded to it earlier in the segment here, and so the question is, just how big is Walt Disney World? It is twice the size of a famous American city. Your choices are San Francisco, Manhattan Island in New York City, and Chillicothe, Illinois.
Well, I know. Okay, you're giving one away there because that one, Chillicothe.
All right.
Well, people don't know what Chillicothe might be big.
It might be really big.
You haven't heard of Chillicothe? Come on. Jay Lawrence is from Chillicothe.
That's why I thought I'd give it to you and see if you could guess it.
It's just like Superman. I mean, I'm just Metropolis is in Illinois too. So, all right, we'll have the answer to the traveling trivia question, and we're going to talk more about Disney when we come back after this break.
Hi, this is Jerry Norton from ZMAX Radio. You've listened to our podcasts. Now maybe you'd like some music. Let me tell you about ZMAX Radio. We play a wide variety of your kind of music 24/7. Music hits of the 80s, 90s, and today, plus a little of the 70s that are light and bright. And catch me, Jerry Norton, getting around. It's a great mix of music, and you don't have to do the mixing. ZMAX Radio. Music, travel tips and information, and it's free. ZMAX Radio at zmaxradio.com.
Planning your vacation? Hi, I'm Zee Michaelson from the J&Z Show. I can help you plan your trip from start to finish. Call me today at 352-874-4724 or just check out my website, ZeeMichaelsonTravel.com. That's Z-E-E, Michelson, M-I-C-H-A-E-L-S-O-N, travel.com.
All right, we're rediscovering America here on the Zee Michaelson Travel Podcast, and we're talking Disney today.
With our local Disney enthusiast,
Yes.
Jerry Norton.
Hi there.
So glad that you're with us.
Thank you.
Now, one thing I want to mention, that is, if you're after you get done listening to the podcast and you want to hear some great Christmas music, great holiday music, ZMAX Radio is playing this all the time, 24/7. So all you have to do is click on it. It's the largest variety of Christmas music there is. It's just so big.
Someone would say that it's as big as Walt Disney World.
Right. So that leads us back to the trivia question.
Isn't
Who's
that
really
amazing?
good at that?
How did I do that? Do you like that?
All right, so the traveling trivia question is...
Walt Disney World is very large. It is twice the size of a famous American city.
Chillicothe, Illinois.
The choices were Chillicothe, Illinois.
San Francisco and the island of Manhattan in New York City.
But you said it's twice as large.
Twice as large.
So San Francisco...
How big is Chillicothe?
Well, population of 5,632.
Okay, so we're gonna say maybe a couple of square miles, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, including the farms around the outside. Okay.
Well, does that include the gravel pit on
Yes, it does. It includes the gravel pit. That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second choice was
San Francisco.
San Francisco is.
I don't know about San Francisco.
Well, I think it will give the question away if
you
I
got a few million
answer.
people that live in
there
San
are a
Fran.
few people. That's right.
So
and then also or Manhattan. So twice the size of one of those.
Bought it for a couple of beads.
Yes, that's right.
well, do we have to go with Manhattan?
I think we probably have to go with Manhattan.
The Isle of Manhattan.
That's right. Now, here's the interest. There was actually a trick question that I
a
didn't
trick
tell you
question?
about. Yes, that's because Walt Disney World is the same size as the city of San Francisco.
Wow.
Oh, see how I did that there? You see what I did there, huh?
See, so I wasn't wrong in
So it's-
thinking that.
That's right.
It's a
That's
double
right.
down. It's
That's
a double
right.
down.
We doubled down on the holiday Christmas question. That's right. But getting back to Walt Disney World itself, there is so much else going on over there. We talked about Epcot already and Hollywood Studios.
Right, we were talking about Hollywood Studios. We talked a little bit about New Year's at Hollywood Studios.
But I'd like to talk more about New Year's Eve throughout the property. And I know that, Zee, you've got some stuff there too, don't you?
Right, you're showing me, you've put this in front of my nose, and
There
it's
you
like,
go.
oh, wow. Oh, this La Hacienda de San Angel.
Mm-hmm.
I love that restaurant. That's one of the Mexican restaurants in Epcot.
In Epcot, right? It's right on the lake. That's right.
And they do a Feliz Año Nuevo. Ooh.
And that is in association with the midnight fireworks for 4th of July.
They do
for New Year's Eve, sorry.
They do midnight fireworks?
Oh, yes.
I never knew that.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Wow.
They will do the normal. They will do the normal illuminations at night.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I should mention that during the holiday season, because of the 3 performances of the Candlelight Processional,
Right.
illuminations is always delayed a half hour, so it will go at 9:30 instead of the traditional 9 o'clock.
Well, thank
Okay.
you for telling
Okay.
us.
And then on New Year's Eve, there will be a second show that will go off at midnight, and that is the illuminations around the world, New Year's Eve around the world. Mm-hmm. Takes place on the lake, just like the other one does.
Right, and it seems like a lot of these places, I mean, staying inside of Epcot, you have New Year's Eve at Les Celliers.
And that's the Canadian pavilion.
That's the Canadian.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And the food, I know there is delicious
Yum,
as well.
yum. That's right.
And however, I'm going to jump out of the park here and go over to our Nakusis.
Narcoosee, that's over at the Grand Floridian.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the lake, so you can see the fireworks from midnight there
Right, so you
from the
can
Magic
see
Kingdom.
it coming out from the Magic Kingdom. And then you can ring in the new year also with the festive feast at the California Grill.
That's on the roof of the Contemporary Resort.
It's on the roof.
That is a big demand.
Viewing. It's a big viewing area,
It's
right?
Now-
you can actually see the Magic Kingdom from up there. It's on
Of
the 14th
course,
floor.
I'm going to say reservations are recommended.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So you're
Definitely get those reservations.
you're listening to this podcast this year. That means you're to be just in time to make the reservations
For
for
next
next
year.
year.
Now, if you
Yes.
yes,
He's so choked up by all these events that happen.
He's just sad that he didn't get his reservations in for California Grill yet. That's right.
Now, some of the things that we did not talk about, there are 4 parks. We did not really touch a lot about the animal kingdom, and that's because it's the animals are there.
That's right.
So it's a little bit more subdued.
But there's going through a major transformation nonetheless.
how so?
Well, it is not holiday based per se, but a lot of people might have been familiar with the area that used to be called Camp Mini Mickey, and this is where the theater for the Lion King Festival of the Lion King used to be,
Right.
And also a big greeting area for the characters as well,
Right.
That has all been moved because in its place they're building this little planet called Pandora, which was featured in the movie Avatar. Yes, and so you're going to get to visit that. There'll be a couple of major e-rides over there for that.
Any idea when that's going to open?
2017.
2017, so that close.
Right.
Okay.
And then for the first time ever, Animal Kingdom is going to be getting a nighttime closing show.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes, they've never had that before. Now, obviously, they can't do fireworks because of the animals.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, they're going to be doing a variation on the technology for the new show that was created a couple of years ago out at California Adventure, the park
Right.
that's next to Disneyland
The lights.
in Anaheim, with the lights and the water and the fire and the lasers and
Oh,
all that
very
stuff.
cool, very
and
cool.
so that will be presented on the lake that's in front of Mount Everest.
Which they do something similar to that over at I'm going to say it again, Hollywood Studios. They do something on the water with fire, and
this is a whole
bigger.
a whole generation beyond that. Absolutely. Right. And there are no live characters. This is done uses the water projection screens like they use in Fantasmic. Those are used there, but it's much larger, a much more advanced.
It's going to be on a bigger scale.
Yeah, absolutely, and a much more advanced projection surface.
Ooh.
And then they're also building an arena. Amphitheater around the lake for people to sit.
Wow.
To watch this show. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So it's going to be
nice.
kind of like the one in the studios.
Yeah, where you actually could sit down and watch the show. Yes.
Now we're going to leave the parks,
and
we're going to go over to the new Disney Springs.
Disney Springs, which is going through an incredibly huge transformation. You will not recognize it in many ways.
I haven't been down there in a while.
If you haven't been there in a little while, it's going to blow your mind.
Okay, blow my mind, Jerry. What are we going to blow my mind with?
Okay, first of all, 2 words: parking structures.
I was going
And what about exit off the highway?
Yes, you're going to be able to, if you're coming from the downtown Orlando area into the Disney Springs, you're going to be able to take the Epcot exit off of I-4, Interstate 4, and pull directly into the parking structure that is over on the west side of Disney Springs.
Now, is there going to be a fee for that parking, or
No.
is it still free?
It is still going to be free.
Okay.
That's
Absolutely,
that's really great.
It's a bit, yes, that's a big deal.
Because I know it was very difficult to park before, and now with all the added things that are going into Disney Springs, that makes it even better.
Yes, and the cool thing about the parking structures is that they are high tech.
High-tech.
Every parking structure, every parking space has a sensor. And so it can tell how many spaces are available on each level.
Oh.
And there is a little pod that hangs down over each parking space that is red when it's occupied and green when it's available. So as you're driving down the outside, you can look down and see if there's any green lights. And park there.
That's
And then
cool.
it will automatically direct you to us, like if all the parking spaces on one level are taken up, it will automatically direct you to the next level. So you're not driving back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Now, some of the things that go on at Disney Springs, do they still have Cirque du Soleil down there?
Cirque du Soleil is absolutely performing. La Nuba is performing down there, and the big theater on the west side.
Okay.
And then during the holidays, of course, there's all kinds of extra stuff going on, entertainment. They really pour it on with live entertainment all throughout the entire area. Santa Claus is down there to be for
Santa.
a meeting. If you'd like to have a meeting with Santa Claus, you can. That's over in the marketplace area,
Okay.
Where the World of Disney is in that area.
And I'm sure they decorate for the holidays.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm
to
sure
the
there's
nines.
probably a tree somewhere there.
Oh, you think?
Or,
Yes.
or more than one.
More than one, absolutely. And of course, the stores are all decked out. World of Disney it does a great job of presenting the holidays there, and is currently going through a transformation. It will, when it's all finished with this new expansion, it will be twice as big. The store will be twice as big as it is right now.
Now, you don't need any tickets to get into the actual
that's the wonderful
area.
thing. Yeah, downtown. Excuse me. Whoop, you see, I almost
You
did it.
almost did it.
Disney Springs has a free entry and everything. Now there are things in Disney
Right.
Springs that have an admission
price
price.
tag.
Right? There's the Ascension balloon that requires
Right.
Disney Quest, which if you are a fan of that place, you need to get in there and do it again really soon because it will be going away in about the middle of next year.
Forever and always?
Yes, they'll be taken over by a new attraction.
Okay.
And then they've got the movie theaters, of course, the
Right.
24 theaters down there.
Lots of restaurants.
Tons of restaurants, and more coming along.
Right.
Rick Bayless just announced that he's going to be putting in a Mexican restaurant down there.
Ooh, yum.
He's one of the chefs on the PBS stations. And there's a new steak house opening up there called STK.
Okay.
There's a new restaurant that just opened up. It's called the Boathouse. It's a very, very high-end restaurant. And you can also, if you wish to, hop into little duck cars and drive off the ramp and down into the water and take a tour around there.
I know what you're talking about. A lot of people don't know what a duck car is.
It's an amphibious car. It's a car that drives on the land.
Right, it's a car that drives on the land.
And then it just drives right into the water.
Right into the water.
And it's
Now,
got a propeller on the back.
Are you allowed to drive it yourself, or do you
No.
have somebody who drives it
There's
for
a
you?
driver for
So
you,
we
yes.
have a professional driver
Yes,
that drives
absolutely,
it for
yes.
you.
So we aren't going to get dunked.
No.
Now, how many? Aren't there different areas in Disney Springs?
Yes, the three areas are the marketplace is the traditional one, and then what used to be called Pleasure Island is being referred to now as the Landing. Because this is where the new the boat dock is and everything like that.
With those cars.
Right, with those cars. And then the West End is still referred to as the West End.
And that's where
the Cirque du Soleil is.
House of Blues.
House of Blues is down there. Wolfgang Puck has 2 restaurants there. Bongos is there, which is a wonderful Cuban restaurant.
Right.
It's a clone of the one that Gloria and Amelia Estefan run down on South Beach.
Is there a bowling alley down there?
There is also, I was just about to get there. Great bowling alley down there. Bowling and sushi. How much, what more do you need, right?
Tie that together.
That's right. It's called Splitsville. And that's also.
So there's
featured down
something
there.
for everyone at Disney.
At least. Absolutely, yes. And then there's also, during the holidays down there, they also have holiday carolers. They've got costume stilt walkers and performers, and lots of live music throughout.
And even though it's Florida, I'd still get that cup of hot cocoa.
That's right. Yes, please get the cocoa. Absolutely. You can't have the holidays without hot cocoa. Absolutely.
Well, Zee, it's been an exciting adventure going to Disney, rediscovering America at the Disney site. What do you do? Do you have a blog that we could catch up on?
I do have a blog, and I do show pictures, and it's called zeemichaelson.blogspot.com. You can go right there and check on that, and you can see everything that we're talking about.
Okay. And so you will blog this podcast as well,
Absolutely.
right? Okay. And also I want to remind everyone that there's great music on ZMAX Radio, and this time it's playing great holiday music 24/7.
That's right. 24/7. Great selection. More selection than you ever thought imaginable.
That's right. You're going to hear some stuff you never thought even existed, much less haven't heard for years and years
I
and
want
years.
a rhinoceros, hippopotamus for Christmas.
Yeah, there's some classic stuff I've heard on the station. Classic, absolutely. But there's also a lot of really wonderful new stuff that's
All the
coming
new
out as well.
artists.
That's right, exactly.
Okay.
Right. Okay, until next week on the Zee Michaelson Travel Podcast, I'm Jay Lawrence.
I'm Jerry Norton. Happy holidays, everyone.
And this is Zee Michaelson helping you rediscover America.
Hi, this is Jerry Norton from ZMAX Radio. You've listened to our podcasts. Now maybe you'd like some music. Let me tell you about ZMAX Radio. We play a wide variety of your kind of music 24/7. Music hits of the 80s, 90s, and today, plus a little of the 70s that are light and bright. And catch me, Jerry Norton, getting around. It's a great mix of music, and you don't have to do the mixing. ZMAX Radio. Music, travel tips and information, and it's free. ZMAX Radio at zmaxradio.com.
Planning your vacation? Hi, I'm Zee Michaelson from the J&Z Show. I can help you plan your trip from start to finish. Call me today at 352-874-4724 or just check out my website, ZeeMichaelsonTravel.com. That's Z-E-E Michaelson, M-I-C-H-A-E-L-S-O-N, travel.com.